Faithful to the
live championship boxing. Billy Schwer takes on Manuel Fernandez for the European lightweight title.
This is Sky Sports 1 Live.
The first week of the season, and everybody in the league has an equal record. Last year's trophy winners are as well placed as last year's also-rans, but by the end of today, some teams will have their first precious mark in the win column. Budweiser League basketball is back on Sky Sports.
Let's go.
We're here in the Northeast at Newcastle Arena as the Eagles challenge the league champions, the Greater London Leopards, who have navigated their way north in search of their third consecutive league title. Hello and welcome. It's the opening day of the 1998-99 season, and every team is excited about their prospects, especially the Greater London Leopards, after the news they received Thursday night. Last season's Budweiser Player of the Year, Eric Burks, has re-signed for his third campaign with the Big Cats. Burks has been quoted as saying, "I couldn't let the Leopards go for the three-peat without me." Burks will not be eligible to play until his work permit comes through. Now, joining me is an assistant coach of mine for the last 6 years. Now he's the man in charge with the Milton Keynes Lions, Andre Lane. Andre, welcome. First of all, congratulations on your new job. Secondly, thank you for joining us. But is that a surprise about Eric Burks going back to the Leopards?
No, it isn't. If I had the MVP of the league, I'm trying to keep him there. If I have to chain him to a fence, chain him to a basket, I'm trying to keep him with my team.
Okay, Andre, we'll come back to you. But down at courtside is the lady with all the information. It's a big hello to Suzanne Dando.
The one with all the information, well, that's because I've been listening to you, Kev. Thanks very much, and a very good evening to you both up there. Now, when you're the league champions, you're always under pressure to do as well as you did in the previous seasons. And the Leopards, who've won the league title for the past 2 years, well, tonight's game is a carbon copy of how they started their season 12 months ago when they went on the road to Newcastle then. Well, on that occasion, they went home with an 11-point win over the Eagles. But for tonight's game, the Newcastle boss, Craig Lynch, believes that things could be different. Let's meet the teams. Budweiser Coach of the Year, Billy Mims, has a reputation for recruiting well. This season, he has a whole new-look team who have had a disappointing pre-season in Portugal by their own high standards. Tonight is the first time these players will be on show to the public.
You know, I'm the man that brought the likes of John White and Eric Burks to British basketball. Everybody looks at me and they say, you know, well, the last 2 championships you've won, you've also had the last 2 British Basketball Players of the Year. When we brought those guys in, we knew they were very good basketball players. You never know quite how that's going to finish. We got some very good basketball players again that nobody's ever heard of. Hopefully, we have somebody on this team this year that might be the next British Basketball Player of the Year.
Newcastle is a long trip home for a losing team, so Billy will want to make sure his boys are ready to go.
It's a tough trip. But at the end of the day, I think we have to be mentally and physically prepared to go defend our championship.
The situation for the Eagles is very different. They have retained 9 players from last season's squad. Although the loss of the backcourt, Leon McGee and Rob Phelps will hurt. Ralph Blaylock returns to help fill the gap after a year in the States. And Corey Jackson has moved across from Chester. Coach Craig Lynch is looking forward to the game and believes that perhaps this year the Eagles hold the upper hand.
I'm hoping it's going to be good for us. I think last year when I played Billy's team, his team was together and I was coming in with a new team. So those roles will be reversed this year. I hope it's to our advantage.
Many of the players in tonight's teams have never met on the court, so perhaps the most important ingredient to the game is not who wears the uniform, but the coach on the sidelines.
we're just going to go out and play our game. I think that we don't know that much about Leopards, so many changes. And I know enough about Billy. The team's going to go out there. I think they're going to be aggressive. They're going to run it, and gun the ball. And we have to be ready to play. Otherwise, we won't get the right result.
Both teams had disappointing ends in the championships last season. Both are looking to secure a win and put this season off to a good start.
Excellent piece, Suzanne. Thanks a lot for that. Out of these two teams, you have two great teams, but which organization is this year the most important for?
I think Newcastle. Last few years they've had good recruits, but when they look in the trophy cabinet, it's bare. Okay, so therefore the pressure's on them this year, and they need to get out to a good start tonight.
There has been a change in the guard position at Newcastle. You have Andrew Bailey, Ralph Blaylock. What can we look for from them?
What you look for, Ralph Blaylock, a scoring guard, but Andrew Bailey, more of a team player. He's going to penetrate and he's going to look for his teammates, and he's going to cause a lot of problems defensively for the Leopards.
Leopards. Now, here you have a team, not too many guys are back from last season. If you're Coach Craig Lynch, how do you prepare for the unknown opponent?
Well, the unknown opponent is known because his name is Billy Mims. And basically, if you know what Billy Mims' coach is like, he's done the same thing for the last 5 years. Nothing's going to change tonight.
With the Leopards, you have Robert Youngblood, the only guy back from the two championship teams. You're missing Eric Burks. You're missing John White. You're missing Makiba Perry. Which one of these guys will be missed the most?
I think from playing against him, you and I know, playing against him last year, I would say John White. He was the one that really lit the fire in the Leopards team. He actually went out there, he was hard-nosed, and I think he's basically going to be the one that they're going to miss desperately.
The Leopards have added a new player in David Cruz, number 14. How would you compare him to ex-All-Star for the Newcastle Eagles, number 15, Chris Fight?
Well, Chris Fight is more of a shooter. David Cruz is a shooter and goes inside as well. So he gives you the combination of an inside-outside. So I think he, matching up together, he's the better player out of the two.
Pick a winner for today's game.
I'll stay home. I'll stay with Newcastle.
Okay, now, in this game, you'll see a lot of different things happening. Who do you think is going to come up with the best defense throughout the contest?
Defensive, I think, will be probably in Newcastle's favor. They've got the crowd behind them. They're at home, and I think they've got the point to prove. So they're going to be going out there. They're not going to let the game come to them. They're going to go after the game.
Okay. Now, he's not new at this position anymore. He's a veteran. Our match commentator, Daniel Rutledge, joins us at courtside with Andrea Lane.
Thank you very much, Kevin. A couple of games and you become a veteran. Newcastle's familiar faces are hoping tonight continuity will ensure a better start than 12 months ago when early defeats saw them slow out of the box. Over the last couple of seasons, the teams have had alternate wins against each other. If that continues, see a home win tonight. A key factor for the Eagles will be whether Andrew Bailey can step up in the new starting role alongside Ralph Blaylock in the backcourt. Shooting well will be important. Craig Lynch sees their outside threat as key to their season. Leopards defend their title again with almost a new side. Doubtless Robert Youngblood's 5-year experience in this league will be invaluable to his new teammates. Billy Mims believes his team can still play the Leopard style of basketball. Whether they can run as well as their predecessors remains to be seen. With Eric Burks out and Paul Burks suffering with an ankle injury, Stedroy Baker steps up on his debut for a starting role. Andre, it'll be key from the backcourt for both sides tonight. They both got weaker backcourts than they had last year.
And what's going to happen is you're going to find that Andrew Bailey is used to going against Stedroy Baker as they used to play in the high school together. So this will be a very interesting matchup.
We got Newcastle in black against Leopards in teal. Leopards going inside with Youngblood, fires up short, gets his own rebound, and had it pulled away by Andrew Bailey, but the foul is called against Bailey. We're going to see plenty of Robert Youngblood this season going inside.
Most definitely, and there you see on that play, he basically puts the shot up, he gets his own rebound, so off the bat you can actually see that Newcastle really need to box out and stop Leopards getting the second shot opportunities, because that will cost them at the end of the game.
Blaylock running it back off the steal for the Eagles, and there's the first score, and judging by the roar of the home crowd there, they're quite pleased to see Ralph Blaylock back in an Eagles shirt.
Almost. He's probably glad to be back as well, and for him to come down and score their first basket, it's going to give him a hell of a lot of confidence.
And of course, very run and gun. That's Leopard style basketball run by the Eagles. Youngblood going baseline, lays it in for two. Both offenses, they've looked to go to Youngblood.
Yeah, Youngblood's going to be the guy that's going to be keeping him into the game. Now, there we see on the replay, that's the place he likes to hang around, on the baseline, and defenses are usually not aware to that.
Nice pass inside from Wilkie to Fight. Easy layup for two for Chris Fight. Let's have another look at this one, Dre.
Basically, Chris Bite's cutting down the lane, and he gets a nice pass from Scott Wilkie, puts the basket in for 2.
Cruz lines up the 3. Cruz with a big 3, and he can step out and shoot that 3, can he, Dre?
Yes, he can, because actually Billy Mims and I were jostling for this player during the off-season, and Billy came up with this guy. He's very talented, can shoot from the outside, can go inside and mix it up with the big fellas as well.
Baker kicks the ball forward to Williams. Williams fires up off the glass. Tough play by Brian Williams. He's been one of their leading scorers in the preseason.
Well, preseason, I actually got a chance to see him in Guildford, and he didn't really impress me. But looking at the stats from Portugal and looking at the way he started to play now, he definitely is a basketball player that Billy always goes after.
Oh, nice pass once again. Fight to Wilkie, couldn't get the roll. And Youngblood pulls down the rebound. Back come the Leopards. Williams trying to get it inside, and there's a traveling violation called on Ben Baum. Just stumbled over his own feet, I think, there, Dre. Let's have a look at this one.
Yep, here he comes, cutting to the basketball. Yeah, he trips on the floor. He trips on the floor.
He's got big feet, perhaps, stumbled over his own boots. Jackson going to work underneath. Can't get it to go, and Baum pulls down the rebound.
When you're in the away team, it's very important that you actually come up with those easy baskets that Corey Jackson just now had then. He really needs to put those shots away.
Baker against Bailey, as you said, 2 former Brixton players. Underneath is Williams. He'll get a second attempt and lays it in for 2.
See, we just spoke about that. You cannot allow the Leopards to basically go back there and get second shot opportunities. Newcastle have to do a better job on boxing their players out once the shot goes up.
Jackson knocks out the 3, Corey Jackson, and he was shooting 50% from behind the arc last year, and that's exactly why.
Unbelievable shot, catches it, composes himself and drills the shot.
Baum under pressure, now takes a shot, nothing but string from Ben Baum. He looks surprised that one went in.
I don't think so, because once again, when I said I saw him in the preseason, he mainly shot the ball from 15 foot more than he did it from the outside.
Fight coming up short on the 3. Youngblood underneath with the rebound. They're really going to miss Makiba Perry inside. He was a rebound monster, wasn't he, Dre?
Yeah, he's the one that went in there, ripped down all the balls, but he's now gone to someone else, so you know, he's a plus going to be for the Manchester team.
Blaylock finds Fight. Fight getting into Wilkie. Oh, great pass. Same play, same result. Lay in for 2.
See, what they're doing is they're actually getting the guys to kick the ball into the post, and the guy who passes the ball into the post, usually last year what they would do was screen. This year they're actually cutting to the basket, and they've come up with like two offensive scores on that one. Good play.
Loose ball is given back to the Leopards, so it'll be a Leopards ball from the side. It's a 2-point ball game. You said Newcastle. You seen anything to change your mind thus far, Dre?
No. I think what's going to happen is sooner or later, Coach Craig Lynch is going to speak to his teammates. He's already got a veteran on the bench to get it to basically sub him into the game and get him into the flow. But all they need to do is just stop the offensive rebounds and stop the careless turnovers like this one and score from the
exactly that. Blaylock running it back, and he will level the game at 11. Nice steal from the Eagles at the defensive end. Williams fires up the 3. Blaylock running it back for the Eagles. The corner is Bailey, it's short, and rebound with Williams underneath.
This year, Andrew Bailey's going to have to definitely step up.
Stolen away by Blaylock to Wilkie. He lays it in for 2, and the foul is called. And that's the first lead of the ball game for the Newcastle Eagles. As Scott Wilkie went to the hole, laid it in for 2.
See, now what they're doing now, they're tightening up their defense. They're coming away with the steals, and thus the easy basket, 3-point play, Scott Wilkie. All he has to do is convert the free throw.
Wilkie going to the line. Knowing if he makes the free throw, he'll get himself a breather. He's getting ready to be replaced. There is a sub coming on now. Greg Monson-Lewski checking in. Andrew Bailey sitting down. Greg didn't play too much last year, but they're looking for more from him this season.
Yeah, I think he'll still be. They'll probably now move Ralph Blaylock to the point and move Greg Mozaleski to the 2 guard. So you won't have to bring the ball up the floor, dribble the ball up the floor. But the pressure will be on him to actually convert these 3-point shots that he will be taking this year.
Wilkie knocks out the free throw. He gets a breather, and checking into the game for the first time, Peter Scanterbury breaking a record, 467 league appearances. He takes over from the current Newcastle GM, Ken Nottage. They were equal last year on 466 at the end. He's been a real great ambassador for English basketball, hasn't he, Greg?
Yes, he has. I mean, he is definitely English basketball. Peter Scantlebury. You hear people talk about Steve Bucknell, but definitely Peter Scantlebury is English basketball, I believe, in my mind.
There he is in the front of your screen. 467 appearances in the league for Peter Scantlebury. He's number one. Nobody's played more games in this country than that man right there. Baker at the line, in and out. An interesting signing this by Billy Mims, getting in Roy Baker, don't you think, Dre?
Well, he had his twin brother, Ronnie Baker, or should I say the part of the triplet, and now he went after Roy Baker, so he knows what kind of a player he's getting, because they're very similar, so he knew what he was going after, and it's going to be definitely a good plus to his basketball team, having Roy coming off the bench.
Modzalewski fires from the corner for three, it won't go, and the loose ball comes down with Ben Baum. Here is Baker looking to run and gun. Baum fires up the three, even a big man looking to shoot from downtown. Modzalewski pulls down the rebound.
A player that only played in 6 games last year and went missing towards the end of the season. But once again, like I said, he'll be looking Newcastle will be looking to him to come up with more numbers and more contribution this year.
Scantlebury with the rebound, fires out to Jackson, that's short. And Baum once again with the rebound. I was talking to Craig Lynch last night. He said Greg's really worked out. Nice move from Roy Baker through the middle, and the tip from Youngblood going to the offensive glass once again.
Once again, this is a conversation we're going to be having throughout this game. Newcastle really need to block the Leopards out. It's too many second chance opportunities.
4 offensive rebounds as Modzalewski has fouled. 4 offensive rebounds for the Leopards. They got 4 points off it. That's too many this early in the ballgame.
Yes, because, you know, this is the way they're going to start the game. This is how they're going to carry on. So, really, Leopards feel that they're going to be lucky with the second shot opportunities, so they're going to keep crashing the boards. And it's very important, once again, that Newcastle box their man out so they can secure the rebound.
Wholesale substitutions for both teams, 2 each way. Checking in for the first time for the Leopards, number 23, Paul Burke. We've got to keep an eye on him because he has a slight ankle injury. Now, we were talking about those rebounds. Here's the figures right here, 12-4. That's just domination by the Leopards.
It is. Once again, Newcastle going to have to do something about it. Coach Lynch will probably make a couple of changes, but they will definitely have to do something about that.
Modzalewski hits the second, and the Eagles once again have the lead. Here is Burke. That'll be confusing, having Burke and Burks in the backcourt. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that tonight, right?
Well, I don't know what team would want 2 Burks in the backcourt, but definitely Billy does.
Youngblood goes to the hole. We'll have to be careful how we say that. 2 Burks in the backcourt. Modzalewski looking to go baseline. Kicks through to Scantlebury. Scantlebury with a pump fake. Doesn't get the roll. Miller with the tip. And eventually Paul Burke pulls it up. He's triple teamed. Scantlebury with the steal. And it's knocked back away. It's a bit scrappy at the minute here.
Yeah, very sloppy right now. All they need to do, Newcastle need to slow it down, pull it back out, and get some motion. Motion as we see there. Ball flying off feet. Ball's getting slapped away. Guys have got to come up with more positive play than this.
Part of it, though, is it's still the first game of the season, first quarter of the season. They're getting rid of some rust, maybe.
Rust, cobwebs, whatever it is, they need to hurry up and get rid of it quick.
Miller for a long 2. Rebound Dave Atwell. Now, Dave Atwell looks like he's been lifting weights all summer long, don't he? He's really bulked up.
Yeah, this definitely. This season he's looking a lot bigger, a lot stronger as I saw him in the preseason. And once again, somebody else that Billy Mims can bring in off the bench that will help him out in the rebounding and scoring on the inside.
Here's Youngblood going to the hole. He's fouled. Could have been one of 2 or 3 players there. They gave it to Corey Jackson in the end. His first, team 4. Craig Lynch looking to rotate his bench quite early on here. He's been making substitutions constantly, Dre.
Yeah, I think what he wants to do is get everybody into the flow. It's the first game of the season, first quarter. You know, there's not much in the game, a couple of points in the game, so therefore he wants to get his guys loose, and towards the end of the game he'll know who the hot hand is, he knows what kind of combination he can then go with to finish up the game.
Plus, I suppose if anybody gets into foul trouble, everybody's had a couple of minutes. Everybody knows the pace of the game.
Definitely, and nobody's coming into the game with butterflies in their stomach.
Andrew Bailey, we've talked about how important it'll be for him this year on the point, running things for the Eagles. It's round to Miller. Wilkie thinks about the three, takes it. That's short, and rebound for Dave Atwell.
Big rebound, Dave Atwell, as they go for the fast break.
And Motolusky, I believe, caught reaching in, commits the foul. Now, we were talking about, I was talking earlier that Craig Lynch was talking about his shooting. 1 of 7 three-point shooting for the Eagles.
Yeah.
As we check out this replay.
As you see, Brian Williams goes in, gets hacked, goes to the line, hits the front end of the first one. And going back to their three-point shooting, what that says to me is they need to step in off the three-point line to try and get something going to the basket.
Bailey for the Eagles. Wilkie. Motolusky fires up the three, make that 1 of 8 now for the Eagles. They're really struggling from downtown.
Yeah, like I said before, they really need to step in off that three-point line, get something going to the basket like they had with a two-man game between Scott Wilkie and Chris Fight, and see if they can get something going towards the backboard.
There is the three-point shooting on your screen. Not particularly good. Oh, nice move by Youngblood. And he gets the roll. Not particularly tasty shooting by either side. But what was quite nice was that move by Robert Youngblood.
Robert Youngblood lurking around where he likes to in the post area, takes it up strong, concentrates on that shot, and it drops through. He'll go to the line to try and convert it into a three-point play.
We're going to have a timeout call by Craig Lynch. It's 15-21 with 2:07 to go. We'll go down and see what Craig's got to say to his team.
Hey, we just got to switch on that. Pick it up. All right, listen now, fellas. Okay, main thing, let's start hitting those shots. You guys are getting the shots. They're nice shots. Okay, we're missing shots, all right? Other thing is, if we're going to shoot the ball, let's make sure you guys go in for the rebound. Assume that your teammate's going to miss. Okay, and you're going to go in there, you're going to get the ball. We're not getting any second shots. We're getting one shot, and they're rebounding. They're looking to run on us, okay? So that means that if we give an extra pass somewhere, we might get an easy shot. If we go ahead and show a little bit of patience, okay? They're looking 2 or 3 defenses hit us, okay? And then go ahead and transition-wise, they're running. We got to go ahead and make them play defense on this end a little bit. Come on, that's all right, no problem. Let's go. Keep playing hard, fellas. Defense.
Interesting thing said there by Craig Lynch. Before we talk about that, there's another big game going on tonight. A couple of former Leopards involved in it. Manchester 25, Birmingham 23. Manchester, of course, without John White. He's got an ankle injury, I believe it is. But that's not bad for Birmingham at the end of the first quarter.
Most definitely. They're into it. It's up in Manchester. Manchester have got a lot to prove this year, so they're keeping the game close. If it goes down to the wire, then it'll be a very good game, and it'll be a game that actually Birmingham can actually upset Manchester.
Manchester 5-4 favourites to win the league this season. Robert Youngblood, a man who's won it for the last 2 years, can convert the three-point play, and the Eagles will run it back.
Interesting thing what Coach Lynch was saying in the timeout. He actually wants Leopards to play some kind of defense. Before they were coming down one pass, one shot. Here we go again, losing the basketball. They really need to take care of the ball.
Burke trying to feed it inside. Burke backs it out. Oh, and he just stumbles over.
Looks like he may have gone over on that same ankle that he injured a couple of days ago.
Billy Mims checking he's okay. Here he is. Oh, that looked like that hurt the Dre.
Very painful.
Miller fires up for a long 2, doesn't get the roll. Burke with the rebound. He seems to be running okay now. Couldn't quite find Cruz. Bailey with the save, but only to Atwell. Atwell smartly slowing it down. Williams thought about driving and then checked.
See, now this is what Newcastle should be doing to Leopards, making them play defense. Leopards running their offense, not making the shot, but what they're doing is they're making Newcastle play defense, so when they come down on the offensive end of the court, they're tired, whereas Newcastle are not doing the same thing to the Leopards.
Fight going along the baseline, kicks it back out. Another three from the Eagles. Bailey short once again. Oh, great pass from Williams. Burke's under pressure. Can't get it. Gets it back out to Cruz, and Cruz lays it in for two.
Once again, offensive rebounds, second shot opportunities, and this is going to come back to haunt Newcastle towards the end of this game.
The Leopards on something of a roll. They've hit 9 without reply, but mostly it is to do with Newcastle throwing the ball away.
Yeah, they're coming down, very sloppy plays, not making the shots when they come down. They're actually shooting 10% from the three-point line, 1 of 10. So that tells me they need to start going to the basket a little bit more.
10 shots without a score for the Newcastle Eagles. They're really struggling from outside. Newcastle coming into this game 2-point favorites according to the bookies. They trail by 8. The spin from Wilkie still can't go from Miller. Wilkie goes up. Youngblood threw it away, but I think Atwell got a piece of the foul first.
All I've got to say is Carl Miller, it doesn't get any much easier than that. He gets the rebound off the Scott Wilkie miss, as we see here. Scott Wilkie goes up with the ball, nice head fake, gets fouled. But before that, Carl Miller actually got the ball, put the ball in, a wide open layup, rolls right back out. And those are the ones that they have to get.
I'd be disappointed if I was missing them. I don't know about Carl Miller.
I'm sure he's probably kicking himself right now.
Wilkie knocks him in. Youngblood looking for the long pass with just 1 second left in the game. He finds Williams, fires up. Doesn't get the roll. And it's been somewhat scrappy here in the first quarter, but it's been a good quarter for the Leopards. At the end of the first, it's the Newcastle Eagles 17, the Greater London Leopards 23. We'll be right back after this.
Sky Sports has brought you the best of Premiership football over the past 6 seasons. Today we promise to deliver the same top quality service from the most exciting league in the world. Sky Sports is committed to showing 60 live Premier League games a season. We're committed to balanced coverage of all 20 Premier League clubs, committed to the widest choice and highest quality. This season, Sky Sports is showing more than 200 live matches from England and Scotland. Great value for football fans everywhere.
We're at the Newcastle Arena, and at the end of 1 quarter, the league champions, Greater London Leopards, lead the home team, Newcastle Eagles, by 6. It's back to our match commentators, Andrea Lane, but first, Daniel Routledge.
Thank you very much, Kev. We've got some facts here for you, match facts. Look at that shooting from Newcastle, Dre.
Newcastle, an abysmal 27%, whereas on the flip side of the coin, Greater London shooting the ball pretty well with 47%.
It's been very poor shooting in the first quarter from the Eagles. Let's see if they can do any better in the second quarter. We're ready to go. Ben Baum and Scott Wilkie to jump it up. Baum wins the tip to Atwell. Brian Moore into the game for the first time. Burke through the middle, back out to Moore. And the Leopards will slow it down. Burke through the middle to the fall away. Doesn't get it to drop. And the rebound with Scott Wilkie.
Finally, a defensive rebound.
They really have struggled on their own glass.
So now what they need to do now here, we see Leopards gone back into the man. What they need to do now is make them play defense. Keep moving the ball. Don't hold the ball. There we go. That's it. Something like that. Go into the basket. Great job by Chris Flight.
You can see why Andrea Lane has just got himself a head coaching job when he calls plays like that.
A little bit overdue. Kevin kept me around too long.
Atwell fires up short. Rebound for Wilkie, sorry. And there was a foul called on Ben Baum.
So it looks like Coach Lynch probably went into the timeout knowing that he had defense on his mind and defensive rebounds on his mind. As we see Scott Wilkie coming down with this rebound and getting fouled.
Blaylock finds Fight, looking inside for Miller. Fight thought about the 3, decided against it. Wilkie thought about it too, and he also checked. The fall away from Blaylock. Tough shot, won't drop. Ben Baum with the defensive boards.
I think on that situation, Blaylock would have been better at taking Paul Burke off the dribble, because he's not as fast as he is, and he could probably easily take him right to the backboard, as we see once again.
Oh, good work from
play.
Atwell. Good work from Atwell, though, to pick it up and find the pass cross court. And the foul was called on Scott Wilkie, make that number 2. Here's the...
Okay, as you see, good hustle on the floor. Ben Baum goes up hard to the basket, doesn't make it, foul by Scott Wilkie. He needs to convert these 2 free throws now.
Baum steps to the line, shooting 2. He hits the first. Gets the roll on the second. He's up to 4 personal points. There's Billy there having a chat with his assistant coach, Mark Clark.
Leopards go back into their famous full court press. See if Newcastle can break this. And that's one thing you don't want to do against the press. The press, you want to break it down and come up with the shot that you want, not the shot that they give you. And basically, Leopards get what they want, a bad shot and a fast break to come down the other end to set up their offense.
Cruz from distance is short, and the rebound with Chris Fight. Blaylock calling the plays.
Billy definitely has a lot of confidence in his team, putting most of the young guys on the floor. We see Brian Moore coming up with the steal and throws the ball away.
Throwing the ball away. That's the curse of the commentator. You see, you praise somebody, they throw it away.
I think so. I think that'll be the last comment I'll make about good plays by the guys off the bench.
Brian Moore, of course, one of only 2 Leopards on the team tonight who won the league title last season. One more to come possibly next week or the week after when his work permit comes through, Eric Burks.
Going to be a great addition to the Leopards team, make him a lot quicker in the backcourt and make him very dangerous in the backcourt as well.
Wilkie from the corner for 3, won't go. Fight trying to get the rebound. Burke was there to knock it away, but once again, another missed 3-pointer.
That takes Newcastle down to 8% from the 3-point line. They've shot the ball 12 times and they've only connected once. They really need to do something about this. Sloppy pass again.
The interesting thing is they've managed to get 12 3-point shots off. We've only played 13 minutes in the game.
Unbelievable.
Blaylock is short. The loose ball comes down in the hands of Brian Moore.
Blaylock is actually surprising me. He really doesn't need to shoot jump shots over Paul Burke. He's
Burke pulls up for 3. And knocks it out, shows the Eagles how it should be done at the other end.
Great 3-point shooting. Here we go, they broke the press nice and easy. Now they want to set up their offense. Another outside shot, another miss.
Chris Fight at last makes a basket for the Eagles, but they have really struggled here in the opening 14 minutes. Their shooting is nothing short of portrait.
I'm really surprised, really, because you're looking at a Newcastle team that have been together for over the summer, and they bring back most of the guys from last year, so you'd think they'd be a relax with each other. But they seem to be playing like the team that's just been brought together. They're not playing like the Leopards should be playing. Leopards are playing like they've been together for quite some time, so it's very surprising that Newcastle are playing like this and they're actually on their home floor.
The other thing is they just seem to be looking to take the shot too early in the offense, don't they?
Most definitely. They're not making Leopards play any kind of defense. It's basically one pass, one shot, and they need to work the ball around, get penetrations and dishes, and force Leopards to play some kind of defense and exert some kind of energy.
I suppose the good news for Craig Lynch, if there is any, his team is shooting this bad, but they're still only down 6.
Only down 6 and still, 26 minutes left of basketball, so they've got enough time to turn it around.
Fight. Kicks inside to Jackson. Jackson through the middle, fires up off the glass.
Nice.
And this foul call.
Nice strong move by Corey Jackson. That's the kind of plays that they need to be getting. There he is. Nice head fake. Goes straight up. Gets hacked by Robert Youngblood. and he will go to the line for 2. So now what that does, it puts the pressure on the Leopards, okay? That puts Robert Youngblood on 1 foul, but what it does, it puts the pressure on the Leopards defensively, and it actually gets their offensive game going and gives them a little bit more confidence.
Do you think it's going to be difficult for Jackson to settle in this year, bearing in mind last year he pretty much had to carry the Jets because they had so many injury problems? He was the main man. Now he's in a team sort of concept.
He's in a team concept, but what he can do now, he knows he doesn't have to well, he does have to show up every night, but he knows that even if he has an off night, there are other people on the team that can pick up the slack.
Youngblood with the defensive rebound after Jackson missed a second. The Eagles come up court. Youngblood to Moore. Brian Moore. Ran to Williams. Williams under pressure from Modzalewski. Hits the shot. Tough shot for Brian Williams.
Tough shot by Brian Williams. Shooting over 2 defender. Nice shot. Nice way to put it in. Keep concentrating on the basket.
Fight driving through the middle. Fire strong off the glass. Rebound Jackson. He's up underneath and lays it in for 2. But only 6 points so far tonight for Corey Jackson.
Yeah, he's used to scoring a lot more points than this, but once again, great offensive anticipation, nice use of the ring to protect himself, and a nice kiss off the glass for 2.
Burke looking for some options. Finds Baum at the top.
Leopards very patient in their offense, and they take what they want to take. Once again, Robert Youngblood in a position where he wants the ball, where he likes to get the ball, and a nice 2. Here he goes. Nice spin move into the paint. Nice strong move, and makes the shot. He'll go to the line for the extra free throw.
Good little bit of isolation play. They left Youngblood over on his own, so there was no help defense for Chris Fight.
A play that Billy likes to run a lot for Robert Youngblood. He likes that baseline area. He likes the clear out when he can go one-on-one with his back to the basket. Misses the free throw though.
He does indeed. Jackson pulls down the rebound and Blaylock brings it forward. Scantlebury lines up a 3 off the mark. Corey Jackson can't quite convert. Youngblood with the rebound. Burke fires up for 3. In and out. Modzalewski. Blaylock runs it back as we see the 3-point shooting right here. Perhaps both teams should go inside.
Yeah, definitely Newcastle needs to put this ball inside. I mean, you're taking 13 shots from the outside and you're collecting on 1.
Williams with a big slam, but it comes off the back of the ring. He got up pretty quick.
Nice move. We're going back to Newcastle's offensive game. They really need to stay off that 3-point line. They really do. They need to start getting things going on the inside.
Youngblood backs in, fires in, and hits it. Now, I was talking to Billy Mims last night. He said his team were going to shoot a lot of 3s tonight. They're not exactly doing pretty well themselves.
No, they're not. But they're keeping it down to a nice average of taking 7 shots.
In and out
another
to
miss
Jackson.
from Newcastle.
You'd almost think Newcastle were away from home, the way they don't get this roll on these rings.
You'd actually think we're down in East London playing in the Leopards Arena, actually, looking at the way they're playing tonight.
Or just out on a playground with some kids, the way the Newcastle Eagles are shooting. Because I think I've seen some people on the park across the way from me shoot better than 1 from 13.
I think you and I combined can shoot better than that.
I'm not saying anything. Traveling violation on the call. Not too many arguments on that one.
No, I think he took a train, actually. It was a little bit too obvious.
He started off in Gateshead and ended up here at the Newcastle Arena. Jackson going into the low post, the way the Eagles need to go, but not with shots like that. Baker kicks it forward to Cruz.
Actually, Craig Lynch, it wouldn't be a bad idea for Craig Lynch to just take a quick timeout, see if he can rally his troops with only 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. See if he can rally his troops and get them going into the locker room on a positive note.
Shot clock ticking down. Baum had a whole load of space, was a bit slow, but eventually drew the foul from Carl Miller.
Excellent patience by the Leopards. They're playing really good fundamental basketball, moving the ball around. Here we go. Ben Baum gets the ball in, takes it in strong, gets fouled by Carl Miller, and will go to the line to try and convert 2 free throws.
Baum hits the first. The Leopards lead back up to 9 points. That's as high as it's been. It's the second time we've had a 9-point lead for the Londoners.
Once again, Leopards come back with the press. Newcastle break it, try another three, don't connect.
I think that goes without saying. Now, three goes up, we can pretty much say don't connect after it.
Most definitely. Fast break, easy bucket, Robert Youngblood.
Leopards basketball at its best, running back, slam it home. Now you see Youngblood 7 of 8. They've been going inside.
Yeah, he's been getting good percentage shots. All his shots are coming from in the paint, and that's really good percentage.
Blaylock thought about another three. Now he takes it. And guess what? That one's short too. And again. Oh! Newcastle hit a three-pointer. They're 2 of 16.
Well, they notch up just a couple of digits to 12%, but they still really need to get off that arc. They really do.
Bedroy Baker for the Leopards.
See Newcastle going to zone, trying to keep the Leopards outside the shots, but come on, good, nice steal.
Good defense to force the turnover. Back comes Blaylock. Thought about a three, then went through the middle. Nothing but string on the layup, and that's what we need to see, Dre.
That's what they need to get. If you push the ball down the floor, you can go all the way to the basket, take it for the deuce. If not, pull it back out, run your offense, and make Leopards play. Make Leopards play you on defense.
Baker.
Leopards go back to the zone to see if they can get something out of it. Offensive rebound again. They really need to block out a little bit more harder than this.
Williams fires up the three, so now Leopards miss 2 straight threes on the one offense. And Scantlebury comes back with it. Blaylock from distance thought about it. Had it knocked away. Just sloppy dribble there.
He shouldn't have even, the thought shouldn't have even entered his mind for that three-pointer.
32-38, 1:20 to go. Billy Mims shouldn't have too much to say to his team, but he's probably setting up a couple of plays. Let's go listen and see what it is he's going to say.
All right, listen. Hey, we built an 11-point lead, and then we got dumb, okay? We gave up a second shot down there. Blaylock missed the first shot. That's the one we wanted him to miss. Second shot he buried it. So that gave him 3 of their comeback. Then we got a couple bad possessions. Hey, right idea, but against that 1-3-1, when Bendy turns, remember you got 3 defenders. You one-on-one, but 3 guys across the line. As Bendy goes, just shoot crowd. Right idea. Now listen, against that 1-3-1, let's go 22. All right, we got to get the ball to the corner. Got to get this guy coming through. We want to hit that guy or that guy. All right. 50.
We built up an 11-point lead and then we got dumb, said Billy Mims. Well, his maths isn't all that because they only built up a 9-point lead, Dre.
Maybe he was getting a little bit carried away with himself. But, I mean, good timeout by Billy. What he wants to do is he wants to go into the locker room with the momentum. He doesn't want Newcastle to have the momentum. He wants Leopards to have the momentum.
He mentioned Ralph Blaylock did Billy Mims in his timeout. There he is, 7 points from the floor for Newcastle in a row for Ralph Blaylock.
And definitely he's the spot they're going to need throughout this game.
Oh, nice offense by the Eagles, and Paul Miller lays it in for 2. Knocked away by Modzalewski. It will be a Leopards ball.
This is exactly what the doctor called for. Something happening on the offensive end and also something happening in Newcastle's favor on the defensive end. And hopefully this will pick them up a little bit more.
Baker to inbound. We believe Billy Mims requesting another timeout. He obviously didn't think his players listened to him in the first one, though.
I don't think they did, because the first thing he was talking about was sloppy play, and that's all they've been doing.
Blaylock fires up for 3, short. Cruz had it knocked away by Jackson, and there's a foul called. And Billy Mims has requested another timeout. He's seen his lead whittled away to 4 with 49 seconds to play.
Yeah, Billy's got to be really upset right now. I mean, you know.
Let's go see why Billy is upset and what he's got to say.
Okay. Yeah. All right, listen. Good job, Steady. Here we go. Listen, I want to get a score on this play. Blood. All right, when we get the ball inbounds, let's run 2 first. Let's run 2. So, Paul, you're going to take it out of bounds. I want Cruz, Brian Williams away from the ball. I want Cruz picking you coming through. If Brian comes through and he's open, hit him, you try to go to the balcony, all right? Or you'll look for Ben and Blood. I know, Blood, you take the inside, closer to the ball. If it goes here, I want you to be the first option, all right? Ben over here. Yeah, but I'm saying if the ball goes here, I want you to cut to the bucket. If you get it and can't go to the hole, you're looking for Blood, Ben, you go on weak side. Now you 2 guys, Ben and Blood, Cruz coming and Cruz, hook it up. If we don't get the shot, Paul, come get it. Let's run red zone.
Well, Billy just calling the timeout, I think, just to get the plays and thing. We'll have a look at elsewhere. Manchester Giants leading by 47 points to 41 at Birmingham. Which way do you think that one's going, Drake?
It's very tough to say right now. Birmingham are still in the game. They've got Nigel Lloyd, so anytime Nigel Lloyd's on the floor, anything can happen.
Cruz, Youngblood, Burke, bound with the turnaround jump shot, knocks it out. Billy wanted to score on that play, and he got one.
Excellent timeout by Billy, draws up the play, and the guys go out there and execute it. And what's that done is that's actually extended the lead and put the pressure on Newcastle.
And the pressure is coming via the Leopards' defense as well. They'll be looking to tick it down.
Early in the game, Newcastle Eagles will try and break this press and come up with a bad shot. Now they're calming down. Maybe it's because the
Blaylock fires up for a long 2, toes on the line stop. And the Leopards, will they get the shot off in time? No, they won't. Williams can't get it off. It's been an interesting first half, Dre. Newcastle have not shot the ball very well, but they're still very much in this game.
4-point ball game. Excellent way to end the half.
A storied first half. Better shooting is required from Newcastle and more consistent players needed by the Leopards. But that's what halftime is for. It's the Eagles 36, the Leopards 40. Stay with us.
You love learning, we love learning. All you need is Sky.
4 centimeters. Believe me, it can make a lot of difference. With 4 centimeters extra lateral suspension track, for example, you get superb handling and impeccable road manners. So you see, with suspension geometry, as with so much in life, size matters.
It's what you do with it that counts.
The TV Travel Shop is the way to book your holiday. Just sit back, switch on your TV, and choose from a wide range of destinations, from summer sun to winter skiing. Then call our local rate 24-hour hotline and book from the comfort of your own home. All holidays are sold at a discount as against published brochure prices. The TV Travel Shop, the easiest way to book your holiday. Available on cable and satellite every day before Challenge TV.
Centuries ago, because of the lack of nearby countryside, the law stated that each family living within the boundaries of the borough was allowed to graze their beasts on public land. Well, there's still a lack of countryside.
In association with Scrumpy Jack, because no countryside means no apples.
And we're at the half. The Newcastle Eagles, the home team, trail the London Leopards, or Greater London Leopards, by a score of 36-40. I like the Leopards play earlier in the game when they had patience on the offense. They moved it. They got the ball to Brian Williams really well underneath the basket.
Yeah, definitely. The way they actually executed their offense, you couldn't ask anything better of them. They went down there, had patience, made Newcastle play defense, and caused a hell of a lot of problems for Newcastle Eagles.
Now, you know, as we look at this play as it's coming down, let's bring the ball. We can roll it. This is Newcastle with the basketball here. Now, what we'll see here is with Newcastle. We'll get Chris here. Here's a jump shot. Was Corey Jackson, I thought, when you look at Corey Jackson, I thought in the first half at Chester last season, Mike Burton said, get yourself underneath the basket. He was much better being underneath the basket than he is being outside.
He was more successful last year. This year, he's trying to step outside a little bit more because of the big bodies in Scott Wilkie and Chris Fight. But he really needs to take himself back to where he's used to scoring baskets.
And, when I look at their play from Corey Jackson, what I think is, Newcastle, give me a break on the three-pointers.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, they're shooting, 12% now from the three-point line. And I'm sure Coach Lynch is screaming at them, stay off that three-point line. Let's start getting ourselves some layups.
And speaking of layups, the one play that they run very well with Chris Fight, where they're able to get Chris the basketball with a lot of nice layups. Once they go there, pick on the outside, they run Chris, he goes in, he's able to get layups, but they didn't stay with it.
No, early in the game they went to that. Scott Wilkie, Chris Fight won in a two-man game, pass and pick, but now, they've totally gone away from it.
Okay, now watch here, where Fight is going to make a nice pass into the low post. Now watch it, he makes his direct straight cut there, fakes the screen, they run on a split play, fakes the screen, there Wilkie reads him, gets the ball to him. That play was open all day. They could have got maybe 10 or 12 points off of that play in the first half. They only exercised it maybe for 4 points in the first half.
And then other times when they actually tried to execute it, they were missing wide open layups.
Okay, now let's have a look at the match facts. When you look at the field goal percentage for Newcastle, 2 for 17, 12% from three-pointer, I think that tells you about the 33%.
It really does. It really just tells the whole story. It tells the whole story of guys, let's forget about the outside shooting. Let's keep going inside. Whereas the Leopards, on the other hand, they're shooting a respectable 44%.
But on that, look at the two-point shooting of Newcastle. Not bad. Not bad. If they try to go to the two-point stuff, then they would be okay.
Oh, most definitely. If they keep to that, they can actually probably improve on that percentage there.
And the Leopards, we saw them in the summertime. We questioned their rebounding. They are destroying Newcastle on the backboards.
Yeah, it's actually surprising me today. I didn't realize they're actually relentless on the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
Okay, let's have a look at the leadometer. Now, on the leadometer, here you had Newcastle, boom, and then the Leopards led it forward. But what we want to do is we want to get down the floor to Suzanne Dandel. There's a great presentation happening with Peter Scantlebury. Suzanne.
Thanks very much, Kev. Well, in the world of sports, we're so used to seeing some of these young stars bursting onto the scene only to burn out fairly soon after. But for some of them, they stick around an awful lot longer. One such man is Newcastle's Peter Scantlebury. Well, Scants is known to his friends as a success throughout his career. This all-star player made his debut in 1981, and tonight he takes Ken Nottage's record of the most league appearances with 467 under his belt. He's also played an integral part in England's success with a record 124 caps to his name. Well, he's entertained the crowds over the past 16 years, and he's put some great performances in from what still is a glittering career. Making the presentation is the man whose record he has taken, Ken Nottage, the general manager of Newcastle Sporting Club. Let's join tonight's MC, John Hindhaugh.
Making the presentation from Adidas Communications Manager, Jane Donaghy, and now Sporting Club Chief Executive, Ken Nottage. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Scantlebury, record breaker!
Our congratulations go to Peter Scantlebury, but it's the half. We'll be back right after the break. The Newcastle Eagles lead the Greater London Leopards by a score of 36-40.
We're on our way to Wembley. We're on our way to Wembley. La 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 la, hey, la 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 la, yay! Here we go.
Catch the Spice Girls Sellout World Tour live from 7 p.m. September 20th on Sky Box Office 3. Book now for the early price of $9.95. Call 0990 800 800. Cable customers, contact your local operator.
If your car came with 3 years free servicing, 3 years comprehensive warranty, and 3 years AA cover, all as standard. Like the day you led us, it would leave you free to look after the more important things in life. No financial worries for 3 years? That'll be the Daewoo.
Sensible's the game. Heard you're playing pool. Now, which end's the shallow end? Oh, blimey! I went more than that when I'm in the bath! It's 7:36. Do your parents know you're out this late? Oh, no!
Twix, a break from the norm.
One car company really does mold its cars around you and your family. Giving 3 years free servicing, AA cover and warranty, and a courtesy car to make sure you're always on the go. The Daewoo New Bera Estate. A car molded around you and your family? That'll be the Daewoo.
It's live from the Newcastle Arena. The Newcastle Eagles versus the Greater London Leopards. It's back to our commentary team of Andrea Lane. But first, Daniel Routledge.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Now, I spoke to both of these coaches yesterday, and they were telling me how their whole season was all about shooting. And what we've seen here tonight was not what you could call great shooting.
Definitely not, especially if you're Newcastle. I mean, you're looking for something better than 2 for 17 from the three-point line. But saying that, when you look at the two-point field goals, you've got Newcastle shooting 46% and Greater London Leopards scoring actually 52% from two-point field goal range. So for the Leopards, everything's going in their favour. However, Newcastle need to change up their strategy just a little bit.
I think the Leopards have taken the three-point shot when it's open to them, whereas Newcastle have just kept tossing it up there.
Most definitely, and the thing is, defensively, Leopards read they weren't shooting well, were actually sagging off the guys and forcing them to shoot the ball, which was a good play and good move in their part.
Which coach would you prefer to be? Craig Lynch, whose team shot the ball terribly in the first half, but only down 4, or Billy Mims, whose team has done things quite well, but is only up 4?
Yeah, I would hate to be Billy Mims right now, because if they're shooting the ball badly and you're only up by 4 points, that means there's a lot more to come from Newcastle.
Well, we'll see if it will come from Newcastle here in the second half as we get underway. Leopards have the ball with Steadroy Baker. Now, the bookies saying that Leopards would lose this game by 2, so Newcastle need a 6-point turnaround here. The 3 going up from Baker in the corner won't go.
Looks like they might have trade roles this half.
Wilkie thought about it, then decided against. Goes through the middle to the hand. Scott Wilkie lays it in for 2.
Great offensive play. Now, what's happened this half is it would seem that Leopards are on the hurry up, and actually Newcastle are slowing down and trying to execute their offense. Great play by Scott Wilkie.
Good defensive play by Scott Wilkie. One thing I haven't mentioned yet today, it's his 32nd birthday today. He'll be looking for the win.
Looking for the win. He's still looking at 25.
Don't flatter him. Cruz going baseline, lays it in for 2.
Great move by Cruz, showing he can go inside and outside. Very athletic, but came up with the foul there in the midcourt. You really didn't need a foul like that.
He looks like he might be struggling. Whether it's just a little roll of the ankle and he'll just walk it off, I don't know. We'll wait and see. He seems to be okay now. I think he just perhaps a little tweak of the ankle and he'll be okay in a minute. Do you reckon, Andre?
Well, it looks like he's hobbling still a little bit. We'll see what happens on this defensive sequence. Yeah, definitely hobbling.
Wilkie with the tough turnaround won't go. Rebound Youngblood, and Baker will run it back for the Leopards. Youngblood backing in, goes up strong. Seen that a few times over the last 5 years, haven't we?
Definitely. Once again, Robert Youngblood really loves that baseline, really likes to make the move. There he goes inside, goes up strong, initiates contact on Chris Fight, and he'll go to the line. That's Chris Fight's 2nd foul.
It was some good D by Chris Fight, but he just leaned his arms over to prevent the shot. Youngblood fires up the second. He's short, and he leads all scorers with 16 points.
Youngblood having an excellent game.
Bailey Bailey going to the drive, fires high up, but it won't go. Rebound for Fight. Fight through the middle. Draws the foul from Cruz.
This definitely is a role reversal this half. Newcastle coming down now, being very patient on the offensive end, and also coming up with offensive rebounds, something that Leopards were doing in the first half.
Perhaps it has something to do with that end of the floor.
Crucial foul on David Cruz. He's now picked up his 3rd foul, so that means Billy's going to have to go to one of his guys on the bench. It looks like he's going to come in with David Atwell.
Cruz, only 7 points so far tonight. Hit a 3-point early on too, so he's not really been as prolific as perhaps I thought he would be, Dre.
I think it's just a case of nerves. You know, first game of the season, you know, guys who are new into the league going to get a little, you know, going to get a little tense. But I think once the season goes on, you're going to be seeing him showing what he's actually made of.
And of course, we're here as well, which always adds pressure to it when you're on TV.
Most definitely.
Cruz, here he is going baseline in out, tries again, gets a 3rd time, and this time it goes. Scott Wilkie knocked it away, but that was a definite goaltend.
Most definitely. Great move by Cruz, stuck with it, shoots the ball, goes back up for the tip, gets a miss again, comes back up, nice strong move, and gets the roll in.
Foul in the half court by, I was about to say Ronnie Baker, that's going back a couple of years, Stevroy Baker.
Yeah, he's got the dreadlocks. I think his brother's got the nice clean haircut.
Couldn't have the two players playing at the same team, fortunately.
Well, actually, it takes me back to my high school days when I actually used to play against them. The only way you could tell them apart is 1 wore 4, 1 wore 5. That was it.
Dave Atwell checks into the game, an East London native. He came up through the Royals junior program in East London. Now back home with the Leopards. Fight for 3! And they've come out shooting better in the second half than they did in the first.
Most definitely. Now, what happens with that is when you have patience on the offense and you get the ball moving, the shooter is more relaxed and he's got more time to let go of the shot, as we see David Atwell drilling the long 2.
Dave Atwell gets his first points of the ball game. Fight. Spins, knocked loose, it comes out to Blaylock. Blaylock along baseline, good bit of scavenging by Ralph Blaylock.
Well, it's definitely good hustle play by Chris Fight. Actually lost the ball, went and actually had presence of mind to tip it to Ralph Blaylock, who finishes up with a 2.
Stevroy Baker looking for something, finds Williams. And he got absolutely mugged by Wilkie, I thought, but he's very unhappy with it.
That definitely was a foul, Scott.
Wilkie committing foul number 3. Plenty of body on that one.
Oh, most definitely. He had arms, legs, torso, everything in there.
Williams from the line. Just about gets it rolled. He's got the chance to go into double figures if he can make this one, which he can't because he's way short on it. And Scott Wilkie pulls down the rebound. Andrew Bailey with the ball. The Eagles trail by 3. A 3 would tie it, and they're going to try and do it with Jackson, but the 3 points haven't dropped tonight for the Eagles.
Right now, Newcastle don't need 3 points. They just need something going to the basket. They need layups. They need 2s, 1s, however they can get it, but definitely stay off that mark.
Youngblood had it knocked away. Screaming foul. Referee says no, and Blaylock runs back. Fight thought about another chance to tie it with the 3, and he wants a foul too. And the referee just saying, get on with it, you big boys.
Oh, getting a little bit scrappy in there as Robert Youngblood actually got away with a slug at the free throw line.
I didn't see that one. Hopefully we can check that out on a replay perhaps. Here it is.
There you go, Robert Youngblood with the cheap one, and actually does the Academy Oscar flop.
Robert Youngblood, we're only early in the 3rd, already a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds. He's come to play tonight.
Most definitely. That basically working that baseline, getting great percentage shots, and also going after everybody's miss.
Robert Youngblood getting a talking to from referee Will Jones. He and Ralph Blaylock, the pair of them having 1 or 2 words at the other end, but the referee just telling them to calm things down. Here's the foul trouble in the ball game this far. 3 for Fight and Wilkie, 3 for Cruz.
Could prove costly for Newcastle because Fight and Wilkie definitely big men in the inside. Fight now finding his shooting rhythm from the 3-point line, and obviously Scott Wilkie inside defensively and getting up there for those easy layups.
Wilkie's now gone to the bench. Fight is on the court.
Okay, so it looks like Coach Lynch has now gone to a zone to try and protect his players from fouls. He's gone to a 1-3-1 zone.
Watch out for Leopards going baseline. There's plenty of room on a 1-3-1 zone for cuts baseline. Youngblood thought about the three and decided against it, and Ben Baum hit it.
Excellent play by Robert Youngblood. Went for the shot, saw Ben Baum coming across the baseline, and he actually finds him. Nice shot from Ben Baum.
Bailey backs it out. Fight, kicks it out to Jackson. Jackson. Bailey fires up, way off the mark for Andrew Bailey. We said it was a big season for him. He's not come with the goods tonight. 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
I mean, basically, like I said, Andrew Bailey has got to come with a little bit more than coming down the floor and distributing the ball. He really has to be an offensive threat.
Fight fires up for 3, short. Rebound Miller. Jackson trying to get it inside to Fight. Fight way too hard off the glass, and the referee's just going to stop the game. I'm not sure why. Oh, some sweat on the floor. Dre, this must be first game rustiness for these two teams.
It's got to be first game rustiness. You know, I had a good time this summer. I'm still stiff. I don't know what it is, but right now, these two teams are not playing the way we'd expect them to be playing.
Pete Scanterbury checks back into the ball game. There he is, record appearance 467. We saw him getting his award at halftime.
I mean, you're talking two previous teams. I mean, Leopards came first last year, Newcastle came third. Definitely not showing that right now.
Oh yeah, these aren't the teams from the bottom of the table last year. These are two of the best teams in the league last season that are just struggling here early doors. Burke fires up a 3, that one's short. Scanterbury running it back, doesn't get the roll. Jackson to Bailey sells the fake, and the Eagles will back it out.
You've got problems when your veterans actually missing big buckets, because usually veterans come up with a big play. Peter Scanterbury not doing it that time.
And Carl Miller, of course, with the ball now, missed an easy layup in the first half too. He had it ripped away there, and away comes Williams.
Newcastle looking for too much interior passing. They just need to go to the backboard hard, try and score the layup.
There's a foul called underneath. It's on Ralph Blaylock. The home fans not happy with that one.
Nice hard take by David Atwell. Here we see him finding the baseline, going up for the shots, getting foul, stays with the shot, will go to the line for 2. Ralph Blaylock's first foul.
Motzalewski checks back into the game. There is Greg Motzalewski.
What Craig Lynch is now looking for is trying to find a combination that can actually give it to him offensively and defensively, and right now he hasn't found it yet. You probably still make the subs and still try and find it before the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Sometimes as a coach you might want to get out there and shoot the ball yourself when you see your team shooting that ball.
I think Craig would probably do a lot better than his team is right now.
Craig, a former player in this league, averaged about 19 points a game, so he knows how to get the ball in the hole.
I think we actually look at these things as what we actually call them in the playground, missing little chippies. As we see Carl Miller going in there, missing the close-in layup. I mean, you can't miss that in a game of this magnitude.
Burke. It's inside to Williams. Kick round, good ball movement. Youngblood now fires up the 3. Robert Youngblood for 3! Where did that come from?
It's going to be a long night for Newcastle Eagles if Robert Youngblood's stepping out there and bombing in 3s.
Wow, that's amazing. Robert Youngblood. They said they were going to shoot more 3s. I didn't think he meant Youngblood as well.
I think he's getting everybody into it. I even think 6'11" Ben Baum shoots 3s.
Billy would probably be on in a bit to shoot a couple of 3s himself. He's not a bad shooter. We saw in the All-Star game last year. He can hit them free throws.
Actually, he went up against Craig Lynch, didn't he?
He did. It was these two in the All-Star game last year. Both All-Star coaches. And one of them, Craig Lynch, has called a timeout. He's going to go and try and instruct his team how to get back into this ball game.
Okay, listen, fellas, we're getting ourselves in trouble, okay, by not running the offense out there. We're not getting movement. We're not getting passes. We're getting stagnant people out there on offense, all right? We're getting stagnant people out there. People got the ball. It's not happening for us that way, fellas, okay? Pass and move. Find the open man. Call some 10s. Let's get some movement out there, all right? Defensively, we're back in 55. Create pressure on people, all right? Come on now. Patience on the offense. Give it up. Keep moving. Don't be standing out there. That's what we're doing right now, okay? Let's keep running up and down the floor. Every time we got an opportunity, Fill the lanes. Nobody's tired out there right now. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Work hard. Win. 1, 2, 3, win.
I like that timeout right there, Dre.
Definitely. He's saying all the things that he needs to say to his team. He's talking about offensive patience. He's talking about moving the ball, and not only movement of the ball, but movement of guys on the weak side. Everybody's standing still watching the ball go around. And he's also talking about the most important thing, pressure on defense. They really need to come up with some more defensive stands.
The two-point shooting there, 22% for the Eagles in this third quarter. That's because they're not moving and getting the open shot.
Yep, and they still want to sit on that arc and fire up those three-pointers.
Blaylock. Miller. Jackson backs out for three, in and out. Good tip back by Burke, but it ends up in Jackson's hand.
That was not a bad offensive sequence. They came up with the open shot, but not the open shot that you would really want, especially when you need 2 points.
Blaylock fires up for a long two and gets it. Knocks it out. Ralph Blaylock, he's one of the few good shooters in the Eagles team tonight.
Great move by Ralph Blaylock. What he does, he uses that penetration bounce to make room between he and the defender, gets himself open and drills the two.
Burke. Blaylock through the middle, feeds, nice feed to Paul Miller.
Same move again. This time Blaylock freezes a defensive man with the shake and bake move, and actually fakes the shot, passes it down to a wide open Carl Miller, who finishes with the deuce.
Burke. Youngblood had it knocked away illegally, said the referee. Foul called on Greg Modzalewski.
Youngblood working that baseline once again, the place where he likes to have. Here he goes, down to the block, looks for his move, works the baseline, gets fouled. Great move.
Billy Mims has called a timeout. He's over there arguing with the table, trying to cancel it, but it was too late. It'd already been called. Billy won't be a happy man with that, I'm sure. His team currently lead by 5 with 2:34 to go. Let's go listen to see what Billy's got to say. He's going to talk to the table first. Now he goes over to talk to his team.
When the ball goes on the floor, the first race will quick look and see the dunk. He can contain him. He can contain him.
What we do, Paul, watch it. Carl Miller got a wide open bucket. Of all else, that's the worst thing that could happen to us out there. Come on. What are we doing watching him? Him or him can contain him, all right? So we don't need to watch Paul Blaylock with the ball. Guard your man, okay? Now, we're going to hit these 2 free throws. We're straight 50. We just got to do a good job defensively. We got to rebound, all right? Paul, what they're going to try to do now, Blaylock and Jackson, Blaylock and Jackson are going to try to take over. I want you to guard Blaylock first. You're going to guard him later. You start on him now, okay? When I sub back steady, you go back to him. For now, you take him. You take mine. Listen, I don't want anybody on for shots now while we're watching him, okay? Guard your man and box out, rebound.
Billy Mims says he doesn't want anybody open to shots. Leave them open for the three-point shots. The one thing about Newcastle, they've been consistent. They've hit 1 a quarter.
Actually, as we see, during the quarters, it's creeping up. First, we've got 10, 14. Now they're shooting 25. So that means they're not shooting as much. They're not shooting any better, but they're not shooting as much.
Youngblood to the line for 3.
Billy Mims He's very upset about that timeout just now. He actually went to the table to try and cancel the timeout, something I know a lot about. But, you know, he went into that timeout really not prepared. So he had to try and use what he can do in that timeout and tell his players what he wanted from them. So it could come back to haunt him in the 4th quarter when he might need that extra timeout.
It did come back to haunt him right there as his own player came out and missed both free throws, Robert Youngblood. There's a whistle on the play. I think it's a foul, is it? Yes, it is. The foul is called on Dave Atwell. We got subs coming in for the Leopards. Brian Moore, Ben Baum come back. Robert Youngblood and Brian Williams going to the bench. That's an interesting substitution.
Well, what he has now here is he has a point guard who can shoot the ball well from outside, and he also has a 2 guard in Brian Moore who can shoot the ball from outside, which allows the other 3 guys to work downside for the offensive rebounds.
Miller with the drive to the hole draws the foul. Now, we know the Leopards were in Portugal for the pre-season, played an awful lot of pre-season games. Newcastle, by contrast, didn't play that many. Do you reckon that's why Newcastle is shooting 3 of 21?
Probably. I mean, what happens is guys can work out, they can ride bike, they can run up and down, but when you're out of game practice, it really does show. And what's happening here is Leopards are a little bit more loose. Billy can run his bench because everybody's had about 5-6 games under their belt when they were out in Portugal. But with Newcastle, it's a little bit of a different situation. They've only played a couple of games, and it's really telling in this game.
That said, Newcastle have not got that far away. The free throw shooting perhaps keeping Newcastle in the ball game. Only missed 2 all game.
Excellent, 100%. Whereas Billy Mims' team been to the line 8 times and only connected on 3. So you know, they need to up that. But good work on Newcastle's point of putting their ball in when they go to the free throw line.
Jackson for the Eagles with a chance to tie it if they want to try another 3-point shot.
Excellent patience by Newcastle team. They're actually trying to run their offense. They know they've got the mismatch on Ralph Baylor. Now this is what Ralph Baylor should have been doing in the first half when he had Paul Burke guarding him. He should have been trying to take him to the basket because defensively, Burke cannot stay with him defensively. Great recognition by Ralph Blaylock offensively.
Yes, indeed it was, and it'll send Blaylock to the free throw line, shooting 2. A chance to close it to just 1 point. They trailed by as many as 11.
Great timing by Newcastle to actually bring it to a 1-point ball game going into fourth quarter.
8 points without reply for the Newcastle Eagles. It's down to 1, and the hometown fans are starting to make some noise to get behind their Eagles. Baum fires up a shot short, and it's out of bounds. It's a Newcastle ball. Billy Mims is not very happy on the sideline, and I bet he's not very happy about that timeout he called.
Definitely not. Could come back to haunt him if this game goes down to the wire. Now what Billy's trying to do is he's trying to save his starters and try and stay in the game as close as he possibly can for the last minute and 27 seconds.
Newcastle with a chance for their first lead since the first quarter. Blaylock can't quite find it, but Miller with the offensive rebound.
Great offensive board, Newcastle. Basically what they're trying to do.
Miller through the middle, and the Eagles have the lead. It was early in the ball game when they last had it, and the Newcastle arena has found its voice.
Definitely great patience by the Newcastle team. Get it into Carl Miller. Carl knows what he has to do. He's a veteran. Takes it to the basket strong and scores it.
The Leopards with the ball. They trail by 1. More through the middle. Modzelewski got a piece. The loose ball comes down to the Eagles, and back come Newcastle.
Newcastle taking charge on this inexperienced Leopards team now, and what they're trying to do is try and take control going in with the last 40 seconds left on the clock.
Jackson kicks it out to Scantlebury. Shot clock ticking down against the Eagles. Does Blaylock see it? He does, but will he get the shot up? Just gets it off, and there's a whistle on the play. And the foul is called.
Unbelievable, unbelievable, unbelievable. Ralph Blaylock literally got bailed out by the referees, it would seem. Had nowhere to go, had to force up the shot because there was only 1 second left. Here he goes, forces up the shot, and what the referee Will Smith is saying that Paul Burke actually stuck his foot out. So who knows?
Will Jones, not Will Smith.
Well, I'm sorry.
Unless he's going to break out.
I'm thinking of the rapper.
Blaylock to the line, a chance to extend the lead to 3. Leopards will be able to take the last offense of the third quarter. King Ralph, they call him around these parts. Ralph Blaylock. He leads all scores.
Backcourt. Great defense by Newcastle. They've got 12 seconds to actually up the score. They can either take it with a 3-pointer or with a 2, but they definitely try and get a score with this one and try and go in with the lead.
Take a look at that graphic. 13 turnovers to 4 by the Leopards.
I think what it is now you've got the inexperience of the London Leopards. I mean, the Greater London Leopards actually on the court now. As you see, Greg Modzelewski coming up hobbling.
Scantlebury with the shot to go. It won't go. But at the end of 3, it's been a tremendous third quarter for the Newcastle Eagles. They looked in trouble early on, but they came back firing here in the third. Greg Motzalewski seems to be hurt, but at the end of 3, his team lead by 3 points. We'll be back right after this.
The TV Travel Shop is the way to book your holiday. Just sit back, switch on your TV, and choose from a wide range of destinations, from summer sun to winter skiing. Then call our local rate 24-hour hotline and book from the comfort of your own home. All holidays are sold at a discount as against published brochure prices. The TV Travel Shop, the easiest way to book your holiday. Available on cable and satellite every day before Challenge TV.
To get the best out of Honda's VTEC engine, you need to put in a little effort. Sequential Sport Shift. Technology you can enjoy from Honda.
I love the people, the Sunday people and the famous people crammed into my new book, Over the Limit. Read it first in your 49p Sunday People tomorrow.
We're live from Newcastle Arena, and what a basketball game we have developing here. The Newcastle Eagles, down by double figures, are back in the lead. They're up 57-54 over the Greater London Leopards. It's back to Daniel Rutledge. He's joined by Andrea Lane.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Now, you would have seen just before the break, Greg Motzalewski going hard to the ground. There he is. He looks in a lot of trouble there, Andre.
Yeah, it looks like what happened is he came out to actually set a screen, and I think he came down on somebody's foot really bad. Went hobbling towards the baseline, and it looks kind of painful. At least he's getting up, so that's a good sign.
Greg Motzalewski is one of the Newcastle Eagles on 3 fouls. Now, this was a fact you were pointing out to us in the quarter. The foul trouble there is very much in the Leopards' favor, Andre.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 3 guys from Newcastle and only 1 guy in foul trouble from the Leopards team, in David Cruz. He's got 3. And it was kind of surprising when Billy actually saw his team falling apart, he didn't get his starters back in the game. Maybe he was trying to protect them so they wouldn't get that 3rd foul. So maybe that was a tactical thing by Billy Mims.
We're ready to go now. Greg Motzalewski is being treated down the end. There's Ralph Blaylock on your screen, 21 points, the leading scorer in the game as we get ready to go here in the 4th. Williams finds Cruz all on his own. I might have made that layup.
Great start for the Leopards. They actually come up with a high percentage shot, which will get them back in the game and hopefully give them a little bit more momentum.
Momentum is key. Scantlebury finds Jackson on the far side. Jackson goes up, good hands by Baker to knock it loose.
Great reaching by Stedboy Baker, triggers off the break. And probably what they'll do now is they'll go back to what they were doing in the first quarter. Be disciplined, execute their plays.
Baker going all the way on his own. Nice move from Stedboy Baker.
Great recognition with Stedboy Baker. Seeing that how he's got the clear out, he knows he's got Andrew Bailey taken, takes him all the way, kisses it off the window for the 2.
Nice move from Stedroy Baker. It gives the Leopards back the lead. Miller underneath, goes up strong and misses. Rebound, Robert Youngblood.
It seems like Newcastle goes in swings. They play controlled, disciplined basketball, then they come out of a quarter and they go back to what got them in trouble in the first place. 1 pass and a shot.
Baum in and out on the jump shot. Scantlebury running it back. The 3 way short of Corey Jackson.
As we said, they're going back into the 1 pass and a shot, and that's not going to get them into the ball game. What they need to do is go back to what got them the lead in the game in the first place. Go down, execute your offense.
We'll see if Craig Lynch listens to Andrea Lane as the 4th quarter unfolds. It's a 1-point ball game here in Newcastle Arena, opening weekend of the season. And it's the league title holders Leopards against the 3rd place last year Newcastle Eagles. The Leopards by 1. Youngblood under pressure off the glass for 2. And that has quietened down this Newcastle Arena. Nice move.
Now, how many times have we seen this replay in this game? I mean, basically getting it in the same place, using the same move, kissing it off the window in the same position. Great move, Robert Youngblood.
He's been doing it for 5 years, all for the Leopards. Youngblood from the line, Burt's the three-point play. He's having a great game. Just look at these numbers.
Playing like a seasoned veteran. 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. Great play, Robert Youngblood.
Miller. Scantlebury through the middle, forced to back out. Jackson sees the double team, and there's a pushing foul. Is that on Cruz? Because if it is, that's foul number 4.
It looks like it. Yeah, 14 on the push. It looks like Cruz will have no choice but to go to the bench. I mean, you're still talking 8 minutes left in the game, and Billy will want to protect one of his star players.
Jackson managed to find some rim on that three-point shot, but not much else. Stolen away by Scantlebury, and Bailey will run it back to Blaylock. Blaylock goes up high, charging foul, says the referee. Robert Youngblood, he's doing it all, scoring, rebounding, and even there to take the charge.
That's what you know about a great player, great veteran. It's not only about the scoring, it's about playing defense, it's about sacrificing your body like he did on that play.
Checking into the ball game. Is there? No, there isn't. There appeared to be 2 people coming on. And now they are coming on. It'll be Adam Barnes checking into the game for the first time. Interesting substitution, Andre.
What can I say? I'm actually very interested in Billy Mims actually leaving David Cruz out on the floor with 4 fouls. Maybe he's got a lot of confidence in his player.
There is Adam Barnes checking into the game for the first time. But yeah, it is interesting. Cruz, here he is. 4 fouls in the ball game. Still 7.5 to play. Miller, good hands to knock it loose. Couldn't quite keep it alive. But that's good hustle defense from Paul Miller.
That's something that Newcastle wasn't giving us in the first half of the game. They were actually playing hard basketball and then actually gone down to play good basketball.
It's the third quarter score from Manchester, 64-58. Still a close one down there. And we got a close one right here, a 4-point ball game. Shot clock ticking down. Does Baker see it? Yes, he does. He fires up the 3 and nails the 3.
Excellent three-pointer by Stedward Baker. Realizes the shot goes down to kick the ball out to him and drills the 3. Great shot.
It also stretches the lead back out to 7 for the Leopards. As the Eagles come in search of their first score of the 4th quarter, we played almost 3 minutes. They've yet to trouble the scorer.
They need to break this 3-minute drought here. Carl Miller goes inside. Gets a nice scoop layup.
Big finger roll from Carl Miller. Saw Youngblood coming for the block and just flicked it up over him.
Great move, a la Julius Irving.
There's the confirmation of the first score in the 4th quarter for the Eagles. 10 straight for the Leopards prior to that.
We're still only looking at a 5-point ball game. 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes left. Anything can go.
Cruz into Baum. Knocked loose by Adam Barnes.
Excellent patience by the Leopards as they work the ball around the floor.
Knocked loose by Miller, but he can only knock it out of bounds. But he's really come to play in this 4th quarter. Some good defense from him.
Definitely. He's definitely a defensive spark as you see him just launch himself at that loose ball. He definitely is a defensive spark coming off the bench for Newcastle, and they need that kind of enthusiasm to basically get the energy defensively into the Newcastle team.
We've just got a wet patch on the floor. Scott Wilkie given the opportunity to check back in as the young lad comes in to wipe up the perspiration off the floor. Very dangerous to have damp floors, though.
Most definitely. Anybody can slip and get himself a nasty injury. Great job by the court people.
David Cruz to inbound. There's Corey Jackson. He's not scored in the 2nd half yet.
I mean, very surprising from him. You're talking a player who was an all-star last year. He's got 6 points in total tonight, and he averaged 20 points a game last year. So I think Newcastle and Coach Craig Lynch are looking for a little bit more productivity offensively from him, as we see.
They do very well at the defensive end there. Leopards run out of time. I think they didn't realize when Miller knocked it away, there was still only 15 seconds on the shot clock. They didn't notice it. And that's another turnover by the Leopards. Make that number 15.
15 turnovers, but they still got the lead. So all Newcastle have to do is score every time they come down the floor.
Yeah, Newcastle only 8 points off the 15 turnovers. And by the contrast at the other end, Leopards, who have 6 turnovers, have scored 11 points.
Definitely a game that's going to go down to the wire. Only 5 points in it with just under 6 minutes left.
You went with Newcastle at the beginning of the game. Are you staying with that now with 5.5 to go?
I'll still stay with Newcastle. I think they haven't used up their energy so far in this game, and I think they've still got a little bit more energy left. So they're going to give us something a little bit more as we see the closing moments of the game.
Youngblood with the spin, it won't go. Miller just couldn't hang on to it.
However, defensive rebounds they've got to have. Those ones they've definitely got to have those.
Youngblood appears to have just done something to the back of his calf. He's rubbing it there. They can't afford to lose him.
Definitely not. He's the one that's keeping them in the game. He's the main pin.
Here's the rebounding graphic there for you. 41 rebounds for the Leopards against 38. Robert Youngblood, 12 rebounds. They won't want him to pick up a knock on that calf. 13 rebounds, my mistake. 5-second violation called against Paul Burke and the Leopards. And they all look surprised about that one. I haven't seen that called in a few years.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about it myself. But it's a nice break for Newcastle. All they have to do is execute and make sure they get a score this time down the floor.
Blaylock out to fight for 3. Short. Adam Barnes let that go out of bounds because it was a Newcastle ball.
Lucky break for Newcastle. They're once again not connecting on the three-pointer, but they actually get the ball in end line, so they've got a new 30 seconds on the shot clock, so they can get another offense going.
Make that the 20th three-point shot they've missed tonight. There's the 4th one they've hit with Ralph Blaylock from downtown, and it cuts it to a 2-point ball game.
Newcastle definitely not letting me down. I know they've got a little bit more left, and they're definitely putting the buckets in when they actually need them.
Ralph Blaylock leads all scorers. Oh, nice move. Will the bucket count? We'll wait and see. Yes, it will for Brian Williams. The Eagles fans don't like it, but the referee says that'll be worth 2.
Bad break for Newcastle. They actually needed to get that stop on there. As we see here, Barnes goes flying by him. Yeah, hit him on the arm, and he was actually in motion to the bucket. So it's a good call by the referees.
Yeah, very good call by the referee, but good job by Brian Williams to convert the score.
Most definitely. Gets hit, holds his concentration, make the layup, go to the line, try and make a 3-point play to increase the gap between you and the Leopards. And the Newcastle Eagles.
Williams to the line. Can't convert. And it's still only a 4-point ball game. Adam Barnes still in the game for the Eagles, the youngster. Foul is called on Stedroy Baker. His 3rd personal foul. We'll take another look at this one here, Andre.
Head fake Scott Wilkie, yeah, definitely grabs him on the right arm. That's definitely a foul.
Blaylock. Jackson. Jackson going baseline, working on Youngblood, fires up strong. And that, to me, was Corey Jackson doing a Robert Youngblood move.
Definitely. That's something that we're used to him doing, taking it into the paint, backing his man in, going up strong towards the basket, getting the contact, taking himself to the line.
Youngblood certainly knew about it. He got a little knock in the face there. A little friendly tap, perhaps.
He's got to learn to take some of his own medicine. But
Andrew Bailey checks back into the ball game, and Adam Barnes goes to the bench.
See what Coach Lynch is now bringing in. He's bringing in experience to take him down the long stretch.
Although, that said, Bailey's not done a great deal tonight. As we look along his stats, he's taken 1 shot, 1 assist, 1 foul, 0 point.
Yeah, he definitely, this is the first game of the year. I think as the year goes on, as the season goes on, you'll find Andrew Bailey getting back into his old self, contributing a lot more defensively and offensively.
I'd normally say it's 1 shot between the 2 teams, but the way the Eagles are playing at the moment, it's probably 2. Williams through the middle with a big slam.
Excellent take by Brian Williams. Excellent take.
Take another look at this one, Dre.
Nice kick by Stedroy Baker. He sees the wide open lane, takes it in, flushes it for the 2.
Some nice hang time from Williams. And it's the Eagles at the other end with Chris Fight trying to find Wilkie. Gets it back. Through the middle is Blaylock. Blaylock off the glass. Rebound Robert Youngblood, but stolen away. And Youngblood.
My goodness. Looked like the wall. Heard that slap from here.
That looked to me like Youngblood hit him hard, and then the referee gave the ball back to the Leopards.
Bad break for Newcastle, but even before the foul occurred, you have Ralph Blaylock go in there missing the wide open layup. You know, with 3 minutes left, 3 minutes 45 seconds left, they've got to convert those close-in layups and to keep this into a tight ball game.
At the minute, there's 5 between the two teams. Leopards with the ball, 3.5 to play. Shot clock ticking down on the Leopards. Do they see it this time? Bound doesn't. Baker does. He forced to rearrange and throw it away, and that's just great defense by Ralph Blaylock.
Excellent defense by Ralph Blaylock. Sees the shot clock running down, not going to give anybody a free shot. Gets a hand in the face of Stedroy Baker, had nowhere to go but throw the ball out of bounds.
The Eagles trail by 5. They need a score here, really, to try and cut the gap. Here's Jackson. Oh, nice step under, gets it, and 1 for Corey Jackson.
Corey Jackson going back to what he was doing last year, taking everything with his back to the basket, going hard to the backboard instead of staying outside, trying to shoot 3-pointers like he was doing earlier on in the game.
Foul number 3 on Youngblood. Take another look at this. Sweet move in the low post.
Great move. He fakes him one side, goes the other, sends Robert Youngblood flying, gets the move on him, takes it hard to the window. Great 3-point play.
Can't quite get it to drop, but fight with the good offensive rebound. Had it knocked away by Youngblood, and the Leopards come up with it.
Once again, a stat that's going to be haunting Newcastle for the rest of this game, probably the year, if they continue like this. Close-in shots. They need to make the close-in shots.
Leopards looking to take some time off the clock. They lead by 3. Baker on the ball. Williams with the pull-up from 16. Nothing but strength.
Now he's got his confidence going. Nice penetration into the lane. Pulls up at the dotted line. Nice shot.
Jackson. Blaylock. Fight driving through the middle. Kicks out to Wilkie. Wilkie thought about the shot 3 times, then took it. Youngblood once again with the rebound. Make that defensive rebound number 10.
Scott Wilkie's got to basically take that shot. He's wide open. No need for him to hesitate. Once you hesitate, that's when your concentration goes. He's wide open. Take the shot.
Remember, new ruling under FIBA this year. Once we get into the final 2 minutes here, every score will stop the clock, a la the NBA. New ruling with FIBA. Williams going inside again, and he got up there pretty quick.
Brian Williams taking over in this last few minutes. He came up with the big dunk. He came up with the jump shot. Now he's taking it hard into the basket, making sure he's either establishing contact or he's getting the dunk. Great move by Brian Williams.
The foul there given against Corey Jackson looked like Scott Wilkie got a big piece of him, but referee said Jackson got him first. I'll tell you what, though, Williams does go strong to the hole, but he struggled from the line tonight, just 50%.
That's one thing you want from your players. If you know he's going to get fouled a lot in most of the games that he plays, you want to make sure that he's above the 70s shooting free throws.
Blaylock through the middle, fires up, hits the shot, so the clock stops, as we said. Blaylock with 26 points leads all scorers.
Game is far from over.
Cruz thought about the 3, but Leopards want to take some time off the clock first.
Unbelievable how David Cruz is still in the game with 4 fouls in a minute 30 left. Great coaching by Billy Mims and great presence of mind by David Cruz not to get his 5th foul.
Williams fires up way off the mark, gets his own offensive rebound, and there's a foul called underneath.
That man again, Brian Williams, taking it to the basket hard, going after his own rebound, and making contact on the foul. Here he goes, fires up the shot, comes off the side of the ring, gets his own rebound, gets the foul. Now he's going to the line for 2. Let's hope he improves on his free throw this time round.
Williams. Better looking free throw that time round?
Definitely. Hit the front end. Nice release off the fingertips. Keeps his eyes fixed on the rim.
Gets the roll on the second. It's a 6-point ball game. We got 90 seconds left in the ball game.
90 seconds is still a long time, especially every time you score, the clock stops. So, you know, Newcastle can afford to be patient and come up with something good.
They've got to come up with something good, and that's a nice-looking move from Blaylock, and he gets the roll.
And that was better than good. That was excellent. Takes the ball to the basket hard. Nice reverse layup. Gets the foul. Go to the line to close the gap.
Take another look at this sweet-looking move.
Excellent, sees the defense coming, uses the ring to actually protect himself from the block, flips it back over his head, kisses it off the window for a nice 2.
You were just talking about Cruz lasting so long without committing foul number 5. There he is, going to the bench, foul number 5.
The curse of the commentator.
Ralph Blaylock, he's been a very good re-signing. I bet you they're pleased to have him back this year.
Most definitely. Very very good player. He's played in the league before, extremely mature, and he's actually got 28 points.
Baker comes running back. You said Eagles. You staying with Eagles?
I'm still staying with Eagles. They still got a little bit more left. Actually, Stedward Baker just got away with a travel just then, so lucky break for the Leopards.
You're staying with... Oh, stolen away by Scantlebury. He slows it down.
Now what Newcastle need to do is just move the ball around and execute. All they need to do is get a score, execute. Not necessarily a 3, just get a score.
They will get the ball back if they can get the shot off soon. Jackson to Scants. Scants goes up. He's yet to score in this 467th appearance. He'll go to the line now for a couple of big free throws.
Just like a veteran. Gets the pass in for Corey Jackson. Takes it strong to the basket. Gets it blocked, but at least he's going to the free throw line for 2 shots.
We got 36 seconds to go, and there's a timeout called by Craig Lynch. It's a 3-point ball game, and we're going to go down and have a listen to see what Craig's got to say.
Listen, don't forget now, fellas, when we get the ball, when you give the ball to somebody, don't just stand there and watch them. All right, keep moving. He's going to go ahead and work for his own stuff, but if something doesn't happen for him, he's going to pop it out to you. Be ready to score it now. Okay, we're back into the run and jump, all right? We're back into the run and jump. But don't do it too much that we get beat. Play it straight, okay? Play it straight. You know how to do it? Somebody's got the ball out here. Wait for it, then we got to rotate. Let's not get caught back here, all right? Be smart. Whoever's back, you got to be thinking, see the ball on the mat. Offensively, all right? Just go ahead, look to get the ball low. If we got a last shot, okay, go ahead and run a 10. Look to get the ball to Corey on the other side. Let's go, fellas. Let's go. Let's go. Win. 1, 2, 3, win. Come on.
Big crowd in here tonight. They'll be making plenty of noise for this last 36 seconds. Their team needs to find 4 points from somewhere to open up with a win at home.
Great timeout by Coach Craig Lynch. What he wants them to do is he's now going to apply the pressure to the Leopards and force them to cough the basketball off.
Scantlebury going to the line. Do you think that timeout might have just put a bit more pressure on Scantlebury? He had to think about it. Remember when Billy called that timeout, Youngblood came out and missed them both.
Yeah, true. The last thing you want to do is freeze your own player out by calling a timeout, as we see here with Peter Scantlebury not connecting. But he did get his point across what he actually wants to do. He wants to push, he wants to put the pressure on defensively. He's going to try a run and jump and actually try and come up with some steals and see if they can get some breakaway points.
Scant still looking for his first points, and he gets it on his 467th appearance. Now Newcastle need a big defense. It's a 2-point game. They need a stop. Youngblood to Baker. Atwell. And there's a foul called on Peter Scantlebury, fouling to force Atwell to go to the line. Is that a smart foul, do you think?
I don't think so, because they only had 20 seconds on the clock, so Newcastle would have had the last shot. So all Newcastle needed to do was play solid defense, stop Leopards from scoring, take it down there, and they probably would have had around 7-8 seconds to actually get a decent shot.
Atwell rolls in the first, extends it to a 3-point game. This shot is a big shot. If you can make this, the Eagles will need 2. It's in and out. The Eagles have the rebound with Chris Fight. They trail by 3. We got 20 to go. Scantlebury going all the way.
Great finish by Peter Scantlebury. They put the ball in straight away. The Leopards are trying to get a 10-second call.
Knocked away by Blaylock, and the foul is called.
Great foul, actually. Good foul. Stop the clock. Puts pressure on Stedroy Baker to go to the free throw line, and he basically has to connect on these 2. If he misses either one of them, basically Newcastle can come down, either tie the game or take the lead with a 3-pointer.
4 of 24 from the 3-point line, the Eagles. If Baker makes both of these, they've got to somehow come down and hit a 3-pointer.
Well, the law of averages state that, they should hit one when they come back down, but who knows the way they're shooting tonight.
The Eagles fans making loads of noise to put Baker off. It doesn't work. I'm putting the ball in the hands of Ralph Blaylock. He shoots 40% from the 3-point line tonight.
Well, definitely. He's the only one with the hot hand, so definitely they want to get it. But the thing is, Leopards will be aware that Ralph is going to try and take the last shot.
We going to overtime, Drake?
I hope so.
You hope so, because you got Newcastle to win.
Exactly.
Blaylock thought about the 3, then checked. Somebody's got to fire it soon. We're down to 6. Scantlebury for 3! Doesn't go. Youngblood with the rebound, and there's a foul called with just under 2 seconds, 1.9 second on the clock. Surely now that's it.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely, if the Leopards player comes down and makes one of these free throws, it's a done deal. It's a done game. But that last execution by Newcastle, Peter Scantlebury wasn't really the man you want shooting that basketball. It was Ralph Blaylock. Now, once Ralph Blaylock gave the ball up, everybody was standing around. What they need to do is go set a screen for Ralph Blaylock and try and get him open, see if they can get the ball back to him. But, you know, it's in Leopards' favour.
With a chance to ice the game, and does so. And the people are starting to leave Newcastle Arena now. With 2 seconds left, they don't fancy their team's chances of getting 4 points.
So I wonder if Billy Mims is actually going to win the league. This is how he started out with a W last year, and he won the league. So I wonder what will happen this year.
Well, it was the three-point shooting in the end, probably, Dre, that really hurt them. 16%, 4 of 25 for the Eagles. That's what hurt them, right?
Yeah, most definitely. They're going to have to go back and regroup, and they're going to have to talk about their offensive strategies and talk about staying off that three-point line, especially when the going's not good early in the game.
It's not the most impressive start that Leopards have had to a season, but they're 1-0. They're on their way to defend their title for a third straight year.
Most definitely, and all hats off to Billy Mims, who went out this summer and had a great recruiting season, brought a great group of guys together, and it proved so with the win this evening.
Who did you really like on the Leopards team? Obviously, Youngblood with his 23 points, 16 rebounds. We all know about him. Who impressed you, the rest of them?
I liked David Cruz with his inside-outside game.
All right, then, it's been a good night for the defending champions. They open up their campaign with a victory.
It was a great show by the London Leopards. They held on. They defeated the Newcastle Eagles by a score of 77-73. They held on, but now we have Suzanne Dando down on the floor with probably the man of the match, Robert Youngblood.
Thanks very much, Kev. Robert, Newcastle shot about 4 for 25 three-pointers tonight. I bet you were glad that they didn't shoot that last one.
Yes, Coach told us to stop the ball from going inside. We're going to make them shoot the jump shot. We didn't think they had very good jump shooters, so we was going to make the game go to the outside. We was going to do the best we can, stop them from getting inside, and it worked.
It did work, but they certainly pushed you right to the very end. It could have almost gone into overtime.
Yeah, the crowd really got into it. They got behind us. You know, we have some young players, and, you know, we just been started playing together, and, you know, we're trying to gel as a team. You know, we still got Eric Burks, and we're missing him, and, you know, we're just hoping to get things together. This is the first game, and we're going to be all right.
You are going to be all right. I mean, it is always difficult when you've got such a new team. Consistency, what was pre-season training like for you?
Well, pre-season training was really hard, you know, as trying to get the new guys into jail. We're losing John White, Makiba Perry. You know, we missed those guys, but, hey, we got to move on. You know, we got some great new guys, and we're going to do the business. We're going to repeat it.
Well, free throws were a little bit low. We've seen you guys do a bit better last season, didn't we?
Yeah, you know, some of the new guys was a bit nervous tonight. You know, I missed a few free throws tonight, something that usually don't happen. And, you know, I'm going to get back and work on those, and maybe I can get better the next game.
Well, the team are looking in fine form. I expect you're looking forward to seeing Eric Burks back with you.
Yes, I can't wait to get Eric back. Hopefully he'll be back the next game. If not, I'm just going to have to step to the forefront again, be the leader, be the captain, and do the business until he get back.
We see that from you. Well done, and congratulations. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot, and hello to my kids back at home. I love you. I'll be home soon.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Back to you, Kev.
And Robert Youngblood, let's have a quick look at the max facts here. The field goal percentage, Newcastle, first game at home, atrocious, 34% from the field.
Definitely not the type of percentage you want to be shooting on your own floor.
No, and then when you look at the three-point shooting, which has been talked about, neither team was outstanding, but I think the one aspect of the game, outstanding for the Leopards, two-point field goal shooting.
Definitely. I mean, when you've got, you know, Leopards were actually leading in three-point percentage, but not that much better. But what's happened is they've actually went and converted more than half of their shots that they put up, so that was in Leopards' favor.
Okay, you know, throughout the game, there was a lot of things that were happening for the Leopards. Defensively, if you were Newcastle, what could you have done to maybe control them?
I think what they needed to do is stop their guard play and also stop Robert Youngblood in the post. Once Robert Youngblood got to the post, what they needed to do was either get out and half front him or front and they have some help on the weak side, because basically what was happening defensively, the defensive man who was guarding Robert Youngblood was left there by himself and there was no help from the weak side, so that's what really killed him defensively.
You know, one of the things that caused Newcastle problems today from the Leopards side was the Leopards out of bounds play, where, you know, we used to talk about it, where they had the first guy would come around as basically a decoy, the second guy is the one that they're looking for, and they were able to pick him up, Youngblood, Cruz, whoever, to pick up layups.
They worked it very well. What they did was they kept on working it, and they did a very good job of, you know, executing their end line play, and Newcastle didn't pick up on it.
Okay, talking about David Cruz, he's downstairs with Suzanne Dando.
He certainly is. Well done, David. They led rebounding. It could do better. I mean, you don't really know what you come into with this team just yet, do you?
No, we're really not. We were really up and down in the preseason, and we just tried to come up here to Newcastle and have a good solid effort team-wise. Definitely could have rebounded better. Guys like myself and Ben Baum certainly have to pick up the slack in that department, but we had some big plays from Brian Williams. Robert Youngblood really carried us, and then Steady and David Atwell were really key down the stretch too.
Well, David, your overall scoring would have been probably higher if it had not been for those four you know what I'm saying, fouls.
I heard that word quite a bit tonight, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Certainly, four fouls, fouled out right at the end, or actually with about 5 or 6 minutes left. That's really frustrating to me. Spent a lot of time on the bench. Had some good opportunities, looks at the basket early, didn't capitalize, but, I just got to keep coming back and keep shooting the ball and not be reaching too much and try to keep myself on the floor.
I'm sure you will. Turnovers a big problem for the Leopards tonight.
Yeah, turnovers. I think that's just the start of the season. We just try to get sharp as a team with the ball in our hands. Make good cuts, make good screens, and we'll do a much better job. Take care of the ball as the season progresses, I think.
I'm sure you will. You know the history of the Leopards. You joined a good team. We wish you all the very best for the new season.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, Suzanne. David Cruz, good, solid player. What do you think in time that he'll make that adjustment to
Most
the refs?
Definitely. This is his first game in the British League, so I think that he did a pretty good job this evening. We were expecting a little bit more because we saw him in the preseason, but here we go. Nice pass inside on the out-of-bounds play. Takes it, once again, like I said, takes it strong, uses the rim to protect himself and puts the ball in.
On the other side of the floor, Newcastle Eagles, they had numerous opportunities on the inside. I'm sure they missed the three-pointers, but layups was another thing
That's
that you talked
something that
about.
haunted you and I last year. I mean, when it comes down to when you look at those stats at the end of the day, when you go back to practice, you realize how many layups you've missed in a game, and that's really going to haunt them. They need to do something about picking that up.
Here's a great example of Carl Miller. He makes an excellent move. He has a problem sometimes of finishing, but here he has nice move, had the man beat, comes up with a missed layup there. You got to come up with those baskets. When they go back, they'll look at the three-point shooting, but I think the number one statistical category that they have to look at is they have to look at the layup game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Missed layups. I mean, you go through all that time and effort to make a big move like that, lose your defensive man, and the easy stuff you actually miss, and that's the kind of stuff that you cannot do.
Leopards on their offense, I thought, did a good job of ball movement, getting the ball into the post to Youngblood, but also were able to find Brian Williams on numerous occasions.
Yeah, most definitely, especially down the stretch when they actually need the scoring. They had Brian Williams on the big dunk. They had Brian Williams. They got him the ball. He made room, got inside the lane for the jump shot. Here we go.
Okay, now on this play here, where you want to watch Blaylock come and try to get the double team. Now that leaves Brian Williams at the top, wide open. Right now, he reads the floor. He sees that lane that's open. He goes to the basket, picks up the foul. He attacked the hoop.
Great play by Brian Williams. He actually recognized where his defender was. He knew where his defender was, which was way out the play, so he took the ball to the basket hard. Great play by Brian Williams.
Okay, Suzanne Dando is down on court with last year's Coach of the Year and today's Victor coach, Billy Mims.
Thanks very much, Kevin. He's also a coach with a very hoarse throat. This is only the first game of the season. You're nearly losing your voice.
Yeah, but Kevin knows what it's like. It's a long way to go. That's one down, 35 to go. But David Atwell just told me, he said, Coach, don't forget the cup and the trophy as well. Not just 35, a long way to go.
It is. But pre-season, it's a new-look team. How difficult was pre-season preparation?
Well, we didn't have as much time with the guys as we would have liked to, but we had a great 8 days in Portugal. We played 5 tough games against good opponents, and again, all those were on the road against good opponents, just like tonight. So I got to credit the trip to Portugal for getting this team ready for tonight.
Well, defending was a key point in the game. You said in the third quarter in your timeout, guard your man. It kind of worked.
Well, we can shoot the ball a lot better than we showed tonight. We didn't shoot it that well, but we're a long ways away from home, and they got this bloody ice under the court here. It's tough to play, but one of the toughest road trips in the league. But we didn't shoot it as well as we'd like to, but we made a lot of big plays when we had to. I thought we rebounded well, and God, did the English players step up. All this talk about the Times and the newspapers saying there's not enough English guys on court. We started 2 of them, and 3 of them played very big in the win. Ben Baum had a great game. David Atwell had a great game. And I can't say enough about Steadroy Baker.
I also was going to say, you can't fail to mention Youngblood. Such consistency, such experience he brings to the team.
Youngblood should have been the player of the year 4 times already. So why does he stay with us? Because I think he's the best basketball player in Britain.
Expectations for the new season?
I hope we can keep playing like this. If we can keep staying a little bit ahead, guarding our men, then we're going to go a long ways. And Ed Simon sitting in Cornwall tonight. Ed and Annie T, only one down, but things are looking good for the big cats.
We wish you all the best for the new season,
Thanks
Billy.
very much.
Thank you.
Coming home, Lenny. See you and Courtney soon. Bye.
Kevin.
Hey, seems like everybody got somebody they're trying to wave to back home. You know, you got anybody you want to call?
No.
Yo, you know, speaking of when Billy was talking about the preseason, you had Newcastle basically stayed home. Craigland said, well, we're going to sit here. We're going to practice. You know, the Leopards, they took off. They went to Portugal. They got defeated. They had to have a couple victories there, but they had a few defeats. Which one is better?
I think Billy Mims' philosophy, he actually went out to Europe and he come back playing the European style of basketball. Very disciplined half-court sets, lulling the defense to sleep and coming up with some easy layups and offensive rebounds, and it worked well for them tonight.
You know, besides today's game, big game here, there was another big game that took place in Manchester. And last year's championship winners, the Birmingham Bullets, went down to this year's favorite, by everybody's favorite on most accounts, the Manchester Giants, 86-81. Not really a bad loss. I mean, it's a loss, but not a bad point total for the Bullets.
No, definitely not. I mean, everybody looking at Manchester's recruitment season would expect a game like that to be like in the, you know, they should have at least like a 15 to 20 point spread. But they didn't get that. So basically, Birmingham did their job. They went up there, kept it close, so they feel comfortable that when they have to entertain Manchester, they actually have a chance of winning the game.
And let's remember, Manchester didn't have John White.
Yes, definitely. Another shooter that they've got. But then, you know, you don't know what can happen. I mean, sometimes we play games when there's been big players missing that we've not won, and we think we're going to win. So it all depends. It all depends. Anything can happen.
You are in the hot seat this year, your first year as a head coach. What are you looking to accomplish at Milton Keynes?
I'm basically looking to take the team to the playoffs. I mean, that's our goal. We need to get to the playoffs. If it's the 8th spot, the 5th spot, we need to get to the playoffs. That's what our team set our goals. And, you know, we've had basically a short preseason. We've only got one of our guys, David Diaz, only came in a couple of days ago. So we're actually, like I was saying to you before, we're playing a season within a pre-season type deal. So I expect a lot from our players. I think they're going to go out there and, you know, basically do well. They've got a little time to gel together, but, you know, I think they're going to be all right this year.
Okay, best of luck, Andre, and thanks a lot. Head coach of the Milton Keynes Lions. Our next live game is next Saturday at 7 p.m. on Sky Sports 1. The league's early favorites, the Manchester Giants, are at home to the Thames Valley Tigers. Big Bad Tony Holly will be out to show his former Tiger teammates how it's done, whereas Thames Valley say they are a better team without him. Be here next Saturday at 7 p.m. as that saga unfolds. But for now, from the team, thanks for joining us. And remember, if you want style in basketball, it's the British game.
October